If you're looking for a secure haven within the literary world, you found the perfect organization. Let's make magic together. Our space is specifically designed for African American authors who are passionate about their writings of films and books. It's a platform to stay informed about industry developments. And on Patreon, we'll share exclusive content, valuable resources, and engaging discussions and masterclasses on various subjects, ranging from film and publishing industry trends to wellness and business tips. So if you're ready to dive into this exciting community, become a member now. Welcome to our literary haven where creativity knows no bounds. Let's make magic together.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to yet another creative workshop that we're going to dive into some author branding with you guys tonight. Hopefully, you guys receive some valuable information tonight. If you do have questions and things like that, feel free to utilize our hashtag, which is the AAMBC workshop. Share your questions, tweet it, Instagram it, and we're also on Threads, which is like the new version of Twitter, but it's powered by Instagram. So, and also make sure that you're following us on Instagram at We Are AAMBC. Also on Twitter, We Are AAMBC. And on Threads, We Are AAMBC. So my name is Tamika Jameson. A lot of you may know me as Tamika Newhouse. I'm an award-winning author, entrepreneur, and founder of AAMBC. And I have been dedicated to promoting African-American literature for quite a while. About 14, 15 years now. Oh, 16. I'm underestimating. 16 years, guys. As I have been advocating for us and creating safe spaces for us. So tonight we're going to dive into how to develop an author brand. Because I have been able to be in this industry for a long time, I have come across a lot of different writers from different walks of life who often wanted to freestyle the journey. They wanted to kind of go about it their own way. They didn't want to invest enough to get the results they wanted to. And so now we're just going to kind of talk about it. Of course, there's no right way to go about this thing, but this is going to be super informational. So I do want to encourage you guys to write notes. You can also play this back on demand on our YouTube channel. And I do encourage you guys to join our Patreon. It is free. You get these workshops all the time, at least 3 times a week. You can go to patreon.com/AAMBC INK, sorry. Or you can go to outlitdiaries.com and you can discover our workshop there, but not our workshop, but our community. Again, we release these workshops at least 3 times out the week, and we talk about branding, PR, how to give interviews, how to discover what publicist works for you, how to put together a book signing, how to even do a photo shoot, how to select a writer, a designer to create your website, how to select the right ghostwriter. Like there's dozens upon dozens of topics that we discuss every month long, and we offer it for you guys inside of our Patreon. So with that being said, I'm gonna dive right on in. Hopefully I don't go too fast for you guys, but if I do, remember again, you can post your comments in the comment section and wherever you're watching this live stream. If you're watching the replay, you can always tweet questions by utilizing a hashtag or making sure that you follow us on Instagram or Twitter at We Are AMBC, and we will make sure to respond to you as soon as we can. So let's dive right on in. Super excited. It's going to be a fun topic, y'all. So first, understand this. Do not hire a publicist until you have established a brand. We just had a workshop about how to hire a publicist a couple weeks ago. So if you are a part of our Patreon, you can double back and go and watch that. But a publicist and a brand manager or someone to establish your brand is not the same thing. So think about it this way. You want to promote your book, right? So you come out with a book and you say, okay, now promote this. There has to be a direction. There has to be an audience that we're connecting with and we're talking to. If that has not been established or thought of yet, then you're actually putting the carriage before the horse. So, the horse comes before, the carriage comes behind the horse. The carriage is what kind of carries everything, and the horse is leading the way. Well, your brand is leading the way. Your brand is telling everybody what you're doing, what you are, and what you want people to connect with. And so until you actually have that established, please do not hire a publicist. You're going to get really upset when you don't see the return on your investment because the connection isn't connecting when you don't have a strong brand story. And that's pretty much what I ultimately want to explain to you guys is, let me explain why you don't need a publicist right now. And you may be asking, so what exactly is a brand? What is a brand story? Well, there are some things that we need to talk about. So let's dive right into how to establish it. Now we're going to dive into how to establish it. Now, how to maintain a brand, we're also going to dive into those things too. But those are two different areas. It's almost like if you're wanting to go on a diet, you're going to identify the diet and the plan first, and then you're going to do it. Then there's ways to maintain the diet. Yeah, there's so many different layers to this thing. So this is why, we put together these workshops to really kind of simplify it for you guys and give you guys something to think about. So first and foremost, you want to craft a compelling author story. So developing a compelling narrative about yourself as a writer is super important. There is power in storytelling, just not only in your books, but also in how you present yourself to the public. So when you have a personal connection, it has a lasting impact on readers. So just think about this. You are a writer, you have a book out. So many writers get so caught up in promoting their book. I want to talk about my book. But you never really see people saying, oh, let's tap into Beyonce, or we can even say Janet Jackson. These are super successful people. But when they come out with something, people are really excited because such and such is coming out with something new. Not they're just talking about the album. They're excited about what the person is doing and what they're getting ready to put out. And how do people connect with Beyonce, and how do people connect with Janet Jackson? Well, think about who they are as a person. How or what do they talk about in their interviews? How do they dress? Who are their friends? What is the subject matter of their music? All of these things help compile and compose an actual story of who they are as an artist. And that is the same thing as an author. Who are you? What is your background? What are your hobbies? What are some things that people can really connect to? What are some things that you like to do? What is the subject matter of your stories? Are you a romance writer? Do you write paranormal? Are you a horror writer, thriller, mystery? All these things really help identify who you are. And when you have an understanding of the narrative that you're wanting to put it out there, you'll have an understanding who you need to connect to. Because I've heard this before too, when an artist say, well, anybody can read my book, and that is a lie. A rock star won't come out and say, A person that loves neo soul and gospel gonna love my Rockstar album. No, they're not. Like there is a very niche audience for every story, every art that you put out. And so you really have to understand who you are as an author, the stories you want to put out there so you can have an idea who you're going to be connecting to. So define your brand identity. So clarify your author identity by identifying your writing style, your genre, and the themes that you explore. Identify what makes your writing unique and how you want writers to perceive your work. Two main things to help you identify your brand, your style of writing, and then also your style of yourself, the genre in which you write in, because the type of genre that you're writing in, there's a type of demographic or people that love that genre. Where are they going? What are they listening to? What type of events are they going to? What are their hobbies? This is what's going to help you develop things to explore and how to connect with your audience. And also understanding the themes that you explore in your work. I am always talking about my writers are redeeming themselves. They're trying to conquer love. You have to really know what it is that you're talking about, and the underlining messages within your story. That also helps connect the dots. So understanding your audience. Identify your target audience by considering the demographics, their interests, their reading preferences of potential readers. This is basically how you connect the dots with who your people are. Now, tailor your brand that resonates with the needs and expectations of the specific audience. So, when I opened up my bookstore, I did a plan where I actually named my customer. What do they look like? What are their hobbies? What is their income bracket? I really had to create a fake person to really identify who am I talking to when I'm talking about my bookstore? Who am I talking to when I want to promote and talk about my book? So when you understand the demographics and the interests of your audience, you really know how to connect to them and find them as well. Now, create a professional author website. Now, develop a well-designed, user-friendly website that showcases your books, your author bio, maybe a blog, and some relevant content about yourself. Ensure your website reflects your brand's visual identity and is easy to navigate. It's super important to have a really good, attractive website. You can go to my website, tamikanewhouse.com, or tracesofmika.com, or go to our organization website, aambc.com. Can you find out exactly what this website is about, how to contact them, if there are things to purchase, any updated information? Is it easy for people to understand, or is it too much information? Is it too dark? Is it confusing? Does it load slow? Like all of these things is really going to be super important when people want to find you and get to know you and maybe even purchase your book. Now, consistent visual branding. Design a professional author logo and choose a consistent color scheme and typography for all of your promotional materials. Meaning your social media should look alike. It shouldn't be all over the place where you just screenshot and posting random stuff. Make it make sense and understand the color scheme that you're really wanting to portray. And use these elements across your website, your social media, your book covers, and marketing materials. You really want to create a consistent look across the board on every single platform. And I call this a brand guide. And so we will, in another workshop, we'll talk about developing a brand guide or a creative guide where your fonts are the same, your color schemes are the same, and even sometimes how you design your flyers and stuff. They're all very consistent on every platform. Now, your social media presence, you want to establish and maintain an active presence on social media. Now, this needs to align with your audience. Now, think about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Pinterest. Sometimes people use that as well. YouTube, anything that's social, that's online that people can engage with. Think about how you can engage on those things and begin to share engaging content that's relevant to your writing, your personal insights, and then interact with your audience. Please just don't be posting. And if you are just posting, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, they're going to think that you spam or you're a robot. And people are just going to overlook that. And also, people are really more connected to visuals like videos, live streams. So even if you have to kind of set a habit of just going live every month, once a week, be consistent with that. And I would suggest for you to also create something called a social media calendar. That way you don't have to worry about what to post on what day. You can identify Mondays, I'll post something motivational. Tuesdays, I'll do a throwback pic. Wednesdays, I'll do some wisdom. Thursday, if I'm out and about, or if I was out this week, I'll post something I did within that week. And there are platforms where you can schedule these posts where you don't have to post in real time. There's a website called Later. You can use Hootsuite. You can use Buffer. But there are different websites that help you schedule your posts on social media. And then take some time and take a day in that month to plan out your social media content, schedule it out, and go from there. You can also use canva.com to design your graphics. Now, your author bio and your elevator pitch. Now, craft a compelling author bio that reflects your writing journey, personality, and the essence of your work. Meaning, your bio should make sense. You don't want your bio to be, if you're in medical school and you want people to buy your book, your bio should be talking about what you study in medical school. They don't care. Your bio should talk about your artistry, who you are as a person, where you grew up at, and where you currently live, and maybe some of your hobbies. And then develop a concise elevator pitch that summarizes your brand and makes a strong impression. I know you guys you should have heard of an elevator pitch before, especially if you put out a book. You know you need to capture people's attention very, very quick. And often you ride an elevator for about 30 seconds. That means you have about 30 seconds to compel people enough to be like, oh, you're interesting. Oh, your book is interesting. I want to go ahead and buy it, or I want to get to know you a little bit more. So craft that those elevator pitches of who you are or what your book is about very, very quickly in 1 to 2 sentences. Who are you? And 1 to 2 sentences, what is your book about? Now, content marketing is a new thing too, especially in the past 5 years or so. You want to create valuable content that's related to your writing, such as blogs, articles, videos. You want to do this to establish yourself as an authority in your genre. So you want to continue to always be putting out content. You can use Instagram stories to do this. You can use Threads. You can use Twitter. You can use YouTube to always do video content, TikTok to always do video content. And if you establish yourself enough on TikTok, you can begin to get paid from TikTok. Medium.com is a great article-driven website. Even Substack. Substack is like a newsletter-driven website where you can earn from that. And of course, Patreon, where we have our very own community. And then you want to share this content through your website, your social media channels, and to attract engagement. Again, you don't want to just be talking about your book. So I'm going to go back to romance. If you have a romance book, what is the actual subject of your romance book? Were they cheating? Were they a winner and they're trying to love after a heartbreak? Create you some stories and some articles on or sharing with people how they can get through their own heartbreak or how they can get past cheating. Or if you had cheated before, how you can redeem yourself and be a better partner in the future. Create relevant content about your story. And then inside of that content, say, you can mention your book. You can mention your characters in these articles and then link your book in these articles. Now, your book covers and your designs, please invest in a professional book cover. I can't stress it enough. And it needs to align with your brand, and it definitely needs to attract your target audience. Go to a bookstore and roam the bookshelves. Look at books that are already on the bookshelves that are marketable and be like, hey, I need to match that. And then ensure consistency in design elements across all of your book covers for brand recognition. Meaning your book covers need to look alike, or they need to look similar. Maybe the fonts are the same, or the way that your author name on your covers is the same. You really need to hone in who is like your brand crush or your author crush, and take a look at what they have put out there. And I would really suggest a really good mainstream writer, someone that has a big publishing brand behind them, because those publishing companies have the blueprint of how you're supposed to do it. So roam those bookshelves at Barnes and Nobles or your local bookstore and see what books are actually flying off of the bookshelves, what readers are really purchasing, and really connect with what you need to do for your own book. Now, engaging with your readers is super important. You want to foster community by engaging with your readers through social media, book clubs, newsletters, and events. Respond to comments, participate in discussions, and show appreciation for your readers. Again, be personable, be authentic, actually be online. Like, click like on people's comments, post, talk about different things, talk about relevant subject matters. Like, yes, being a brand is sometimes a full-time job, but if you're an art there and you enjoy this, you're gonna actually, it's not gonna be too hard. You'll find a way to make it work. Now, your book launch strategy too is super important. Develop a comprehensive book launch strategy. And we actually had a workshop on book launches as well. So if you're not a part of our Patreon community, you definitely should be, because we talk about these subjects in depth. But develop a comprehensive book launch strategy that incorporates your brand's elements. Leverage your brand to create anticipation and excitement around these new releases. Again, develop a comprehensive book launch. Comprehensive. Meaning, if you're going to do a book event, you're going to do some book signings, go on a book tour, you're going to reach out to different book clubs, book reviewers, book bloggers. If you're going to host some live streams, if you're going to reach out to different podcasts to interview you, what is the plan? What is your strategy? And often this plan and strategy needs to be put together anywhere from 3 to 6 months before your book comes out. And then you want to leverage your brand to create anticipation. Again, people are going to be connecting with you and not technically your book. So have them start liking you. And there's no wrong or right way to go about this. As long as you're posting and you're being authentic, your audience will connect with you. You do not have to worry about what to post. Just be yourself. And whoever's meant to connect with you, they will connect with you. And last but not least, monitor and adapt. Regularly assess the effectiveness of your brand strategy and make adjustments as needed. So don't just be doing stuff, just be doing it. Stay attuned to your reader feedback. And the ever evolving trends in your genres to keep your brand relevant. Things are always changing. Things are always going to be evolving. So make sure you're staying connected with that, and you're knowing what's trending, what people are talking about, new ways people are promoting, new type of events and concepts that people are doing. Just stay with the trends and make sure that you're also implementing that in your own brand. Now, I know what I did talk about was a lot. It was a lot, but we got you, right? We do have our sister company, Delphine Legacy Media. And we know that sometimes it is hard for you guys to do it on your own. So if you do not want to do this on your own, or if you want to reach out to us for us to create a comprehensive plan for you, text us at 678-718-5471, and we will match you with a brand manager, and we will audit what you got going on, and we will make sure that if you do need help, if you do need some adjustments, we will guide you on how to get started and how to do that. So again, you can text us or you can email us at info@delphinelegacymedia.com and visit delphinelegacymedia.com to see all of the resources and everything that we do have to offer you. We try to make it super easy for you guys. We try to make it a one-stop shop. And we also do offer one-on-one branding phone calls with you guys where we will dive in deep with you, and we will discuss what needs to be done for your brand. Again, become a member of our Patreon community. It is free for the most part. There are some levels of our Patreon community where you do have to invest in yourself to receive some of our master classes, resources, grant opportunities, inspirational and craft talks that we host. It's a whole bunch of different things that we actually host inside of our Patreon community. So make sure that you dive into that and become a member if you have not. Again, it is patreon.com/AABCINK. And with that being said, you guys, thank you so very much. I am rooting for you all. I hope to see you all at Black Writers Weekend, which is going to be happening this August. If you are an author with a book, we actually have some author tables that are readily available for you guys to actually go and reserve your author table. So go to blackwritersweekend.com. We're also seeking ambassadors as well for Black Writers Weekend. So you go to blackwritersweekend.com and apply for that as well. And if you are out in the Los Angeles area, we will be out there March 30th for our Soul Canvas event where you can create, connect, and explore. It is a super powerful and immersive experience for creatives in the film, visual, and literary arts industry. Cannot wait for that event at all. It's going to be super fun. Again, thank you all so very much. We will be back tomorrow night with another workshop. So again, if you are a part of our Patreon community, we will see you there.